Peace, everybody. Good to see everybody. Welcome to everyone who's joined us from Discord, from YouTube, from Twitter. Despite all the censorship, here we are. Palestine pushes forward. Haiti pushes forward. We're joined today by an OG, a veteran of the anti-imperialist struggle in defense of Haiti's sovereignty, a sovereignty that's really been under threat every day, every moment since 1804. The white supremacist powers that be, the colonial powers that be in the world, refuse to forgive Haiti for its legacy, for everything that it stands for. So, welcome, Jafrik. Thank you for joining us. If you want to say a few words as an intro about the work you've done over the years, and then we'll get into it and unpack as much as we can from Haiti today.
Well, thank you very much, Brother Danny, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be in this conversation with you this evening. My legal name, Elissin Saint-Ville, not being adequate to describe the African that I am. A few decades ago, I adopted Jafrikayiti to say that I'm a son of Africa born in Haiti. I work with, I'm a member of Solidarité Québec Haïti, which is a pressure group in Canada trying to steer Canadian foreign policy in the right direction, not only with regards to what's happening in Haiti, but our policies towards Palestine, towards the whole of African continent is completely crooked from our perspective in the way we see it here in Canada. And, as Haiti is currently under occupation and there is a renewed arrangement of the white supremacist forces to re-invade Haiti with soldiers and police from different countries. We are mindful of the tradition of resistance of our people, and we say that we're part of the movement of combattants haïtiens contre occupation, that is, Haitians who rise against the occupation.
All right, so take us up to speed. Before we unpack some of the history, let me just share a few headlines here. The absolute arrogance of these imperialist gentlemen, as CNN announced. This is actually from probably a day or two ago, but Marines head to Haiti. Imagine if they said, Haitian security forces head to Miami, Haitians invade New York. We know that we would never see that title, but the Marines can do whatever they want. So we're talking about potentially the fourth coordinated U.S. led colonial invasion and occupation of Haiti in 100 years. This image from protests in Port-au-Prince, I think, tells the story of who the true enemy of Haiti is. Yeah, Jafrik, take us on to the ground. What do you want our listenership to know? What's happening right now in Haiti as we speak?
Yes, so I'm really encouraging people to select where they go to get information. Unfortunately, what we call the mainstream media will be saturated with racist stereotypes and cliches as they have been in the past few weeks. And that's always the case when the empire attacks a people. They demonize the people, they belittle them, and caricature what's happening on the ground. And so you would have heard a lot of words used, such as gangs, etc. Clearly, what's happening in Haiti is not gang warfare, but rather the mobilizations of militias who are well armed with US made weapons. The United Nations have done research, other independent researchers all conclude that the weapons come from Florida. And those militias did not just spring out of nowhere. It's also the United Nations published a report in October 2023 confirming that almost all of the militias surrounding Port-au-Prince were created, armed, sustained by Michel Martelly, who is the former puppet president who was imposed on Haitians by Hillary Clinton entering Haiti in 2010 and ordering the director of the Electoral Council, Pierre-Louis Aupon, to falsify the results of the election. And this is not activists saying that. Pierre-Louis Aupon himself, the former Director General of the Electoral Council, went on the air in 2015, and his claim is that the results that he had initially published were the right ones, but the whites interfered and ordered them to change the results of the first round, which allowed this fool that we see on the picture here to go on the second round and become the president of Haiti. And so his main purpose was to help the Clintons hide or cover what they have done with over $13 billion of post earthquake relief funds that were collected in the name of Haitians. And anybody who is honest, who's been to Haiti, can tell you that they don't see evidence of $13 billion having been spent um, on Haitian infrastructure or improving the lives or build back better like Bill Clinton was clamoring when it was time to collect the money. And so by having Michel Martelly's regime, PHTK regime in power, and being a number of thieves that composed his various governments over the years from 2015 to the current time, uh, they embezzled a lot of money from the national treasury, but also the Petro-Caribe funds, which is a program that was created by President Hugo Chavez and President René Préval back in 2008, and it continued after the earthquake. And it was supposed to help Haiti have access to money at a level that we've never had in our history. And that money was supposed to be invested in, production of national production of food, etc., and so that we could repay Venezuela in cash or in goods. And of course, Michel Martelly embezzled that money. We're talking about around $4.2 billion. But the amount of money involved in the Petrocaribe thievery is actually less than the amount of money that the Clinton Foundation have gone away with. But so the use of Michel Martelly is to now have the focus on the Haitian thieves in order to forget the bigger American thieves. And they work in tandem. Michel Martelly protects the Clintons protect Michel Martelly. And although I've mentioned the UN report that was published in October 2023, which confirmed what Haitians have been saying all along, that Michel Martelly is the one who armed all of these militias. He lives in Miami and carefree with no worries.
Let's just bring up an image of the Clintons who personify this colonial rule that the Haitian people resent so much. The picture's a little faded, but here you have the Clintons opening up their sweatshop near Wanamet in the north of Haiti. Hillary and Bill, who some call the colonial king and queen of Haiti.
I don't know if you could zoom this picture, Danny, but you would see that the only people smiling in this picture are the folks on the not the Haitians, okay? uh, and the workers, they understand that this is a raw deal, but given that there are no jobs, that sweatshop, you know, which promised to the creation of thousands of jobs, it never came to be.
Yeah, so I saw a report just now before we went live. I'll share it and then we'll try to make sense of it. I visited some of the refugee camps. Camps is not the correct word. Families are forced to take over primary schools or high schools, or they live in Champ Mars out in the open in parks, or they live in alleyways. So we have at this point close to a 500,000 Haitians just in the capital of Port-au-Prince that have been displaced by this paramilitary violence. Jafrik laid out where all of the guns come from. They come through Florida. Um, and why don't these Kenyans invade the U.S.? Why don't they invade Florida to prevent where all the genocidal violence is actually stemming from? Let me see if I can call up an image of the refugee camps quick, just so you get a sense of some of the imagery. I didn't want to be too intrusive with the coverage, but perhaps Jafrik can comment as it plays. I'll leave the volume off, but it'll give you kind of a panoramic view of 2,000 families that live in this school. This is l'école Fritz Pierre Louis. And
Hmm.
I've since learned this is one of our leaders, one of our Molotov leaders there. And the families that live here, 2,000 human beings, share two latrines and are forced to do their laundry, make food right here. It's about 20 families per classroom. And what we heard today, um, let's see, hopefully you can, yeah, you can see that now. So they're saying that the leader of Kafufe, I'm not in a position to say maybe Jafrik is exactly who Ezekiel Alexander is. I don't want to say he's a criminal without knowing the full background, but he was one of the individuals who escaped from prison about 2 weeks ago, and supposedly this is, I think, within the last let's see, something like 24 hours.
Yes.
And he's leading the charge of many of these refugees back into their neighborhood. So let's just play this for a sec, and Jafrik will help us make sense of some of this. So this is the rival of Tilap Lee, who took over Kafufe. Yeah, Jafrik, take it away. Let the audience know what you want them to know.
Yeah. So what is very important to notice here is that this gentleman that they were talking about, again, sorry for the use of the word gentleman, uh, um, he he's very close to Michel Martelly. Okay, he's part of what they call Base Pilat in Kafufei. Now, he never held any elective office. He is a gang leader, as they say. Now, what's very interesting for people who know Haitian history to notice is that the party in power has militias associated to it that break into two major jails in Port-au-Prince, releasing 1,000 people in the in the Croix des Bouquets jail and 3,700 in National Penitentiary. And if anyone who was around in 2002 might recall, in prelude and in preparation for the coup, the CIA led an operation, and Jeb Sprague had published an article not too long ago to provide the details of the US CIA official who she went to Gonaive to organize that jailbreak of Amio Meteye in 2002 and Jean Tatoun. If you compare what happened in 2002 and what's happening now, it's amazing. As soon as Amio Meteye came out of jail, the OAS, the United States, France, Canada, everybody was clamoring that he needs to be rearrested. And it was strange to me at the time because Jean Tatoun came out of the same jailbreak. They never asked for the rearrest of Jean Tatoun, but they were asking for the rearrest of Amio Meteye. The reason being, Amio Meteye was a community leader who was close, an activist close to Lavalas. And they were using, in fact, now we know that it was the CIA that organized the jailbreak. Okay. And now that they're putting pressure on Aristide to rearrest him, and Aristide did arrest him again and put him in jail. And that's what caused the family of Amio Meteye to turn against Lavalas and create tension in Gonaive and fueled uh, um, the unrest that they use as justification for the coup in 2004. Now you have over 5,000 escapees, some of them including not Ezekiel only, the gang leader of Kafufei, but the man who was responsible for the protection of Jovenel Moise, the previous puppet, okay, who was killed in his home on July 7, 2021. Dimitri Erard, the police who was protecting Jovenel Moise, who was arrested because clearly there was, complicity of the police. That's why the man was killed and no one, protected him. He escaped from that prison break of March, I believe, the 3rd. And you don't hear anybody calling for the rearrest of Dimitri Erard, who is now apparently in one of the fiefdoms of the militias that are close to Michel Martelly with ISO. So this is telling me that beyond the individuals that you see on the ground, we have to be asking ourselves, what is the strategy of the United States? And the only thing that I can think of is that they are gearing up to have a quick sham election so that some of the PHTK or Michel Martelly's party folks would have had time to transform themselves into champions in their own neighborhoods. Okay, so now the people you see with Ezekiel, of course, they are afraid of him. They know that Baz Pilat has all the weapons, but these people have been displaced from their homes for several months now. I know this neighborhood very well. That's where I grew up. Okay, so people want to come back, and now, given that you don't have a Haitian state, all of the local officials, because this is tied to the coup of 2004, because people need to understand that in 2004, it wasn't just the president who was kidnapped. They toppled the whole of Haitian government, from mayors, local authorities like what we call Kazek, Azek, okay? The legislature, senator, député, everybody was overthrown. And so it's a gradual collapse of the state, which causes that today there's not a single person who is an elected official in Haiti. And so now to fill that void, now they're trying to transform some of the militia leaders into revolutionaries, reformers, and what they're preparing us for is a quick election while areas like Cafoufeuille, Cité Soleil, Bel Air are in disarray. People, don't feel safe, And then, the supporters of Ezekiel are going to be able to vote. The supporters of barbecue are going to be able to vote. The supporters of Guy Philippe, who are armed to the teeth, are going to be able to vote. And then the regular folks who do not support the US armed militias are going to have to stay home. And that's the kind of elections the Americans, the Canadians, and the Europeans who want to maintain control of the neo colony would like to have. And I understand this quite well from the perspective of what Canadian officials told us when we were making presentations back in 2005. When we asked them, why don't you organize free and fair elections in Haiti? Because this is one way to solve the problem, and they said this wouldn't solve the problem. We asked them why. They said because Lavalas would win. So they know exactly what they're doing. This is leveling the playing field. And that's why you will see a number of Haitians will raise their voices against that crass propaganda that Kim Eyes and Dan Cohen has been pushing, presenting some of these criminals as community leaders, revolutionaries, uh, and these people should understand exactly what the strategy is. They're trying to enforce criminals onto the Haitian population and force the population to accept them as leaders because the United States controls them.
Yeah, well, you set it up well. I'll bring up images of Jimmy Cherizier, um, and walk us through how you see Jimmy Cherizier. What's your perspective? There's a documentary out there called Another Vision, by the two filmmakers that you mentioned, that posits that this, unlike what CNN is saying, they are positing um, that this is actually a revolutionary leader. And I've shared my impressions publicly that talking to different people, many Haitians over the course of the last 3 years, the vast majority of Haitians doubt that he could ever be a revolutionary. Certainly, he does have a strong base. You can see the weapons here, weapons that come from the U.S. Some of the weapons come from Israel. How did he get all those weapons is a huge question. But yeah, let us know, Jafrik, what you're hearing, what different community organizations and contacts that you have in Port-au-Prince, what are they saying about Jimmy Cherizier?
Well, I think one story that helps to explain it well. I mean, first of all of these guys are hiding their faces. They're criminals. Okay. Now, Jimmy Cherizier is a former a member of the PNH, Police Nationale d'Haïti. Um, People who have been listening to Haitian radio, who have access to WhatsApp, where Haitians communicate in Creole. Uh, no one in Haiti is fooled by this. Okay, it's like El Chapo in Colombia. Of course, he had people who followed him as well because he has access to money and he had access to weapons that scared people. And the purpose of Jimmy Cherizier is the same as Ezekiel. So you impose the terror in the community, and now the people who would oppose PHTK could not demonstrate in the streets. Okay, and the earlier images of Jimmy Cherizier, you would see him in the streets saying that he will not allow anybody to organize demonstrations against Jovenel Moise. That's what he was doing throughout the period when people were organizing against Jovenel Moise, 2018, 2019. And at the time, Jimmy Cherizier used to go around with a huge US flag on his chest. And then all of a sudden, this guy started to, work his image. All of a sudden, you don't see him with the US flag anymore. He has blue and red Haitian bandanas. And then, for good measure, they bought him a Che Guevara hat. As if, this is like so insulting, like a minstrel show type of thing. And for folks who followed the coup in 2004, this is reminiscent of what happened in Cité Soleil. At the time, other CIA agents with money, including Wyclef Jean, put some money in the production of a film called The Ghost of Cité Soleil, where a couple of white cameramen went into Cité Soleil. They got into the lives of these guys, a lot of voyeurism, okay, knowing full well that they have white privilege, they have money privilege, and they have protection from the United States, so they could invade the lives of these young people who were fighting for their lives, some of them major criminals. And it made excitement for people outside of Haiti. But at the end of the movie, all of the Haitian actors are dead. Some of them died of gunshot, others of SIDA, of AIDS. But the filmmakers, and including this one woman from France, end up, um, winning prizes for their film, and that was the end of that. Okay, and then they move on to the next situation. That's how I understand this outrageous thing that Kim Ives and the others who don't even understand Creole are talking about. However, I would encourage people to go look into the assassination of a young girl named Sincere. I'm trying to figure.
Lisa, right? Lisa Sincere?
No, Evelyn Sincere.
Ever.
Evelyn Sincere. She was 18 years old, and when she was killed, Jimmy Cherizier, uh, hearing that, because there were information that it was the gang that Jimmy Cherizier or his militias that killed her. Okay, and by that time there was an arrest warrant after Jimmy Cherizier. The arrest warrant for Jimmy Cherizier dates January 31st, 2020. Yet, when they killed Evelyn Sincere in October or November 1st, I believe, 2020, and you can see this excellent article by Edwidge Dantika addressing this. Edwidge Dantika is a qualified author to talk about this because she grew up in Bel Air. Okay, like, she could have been Evelyn Sincere, and Evelyn Sincere could have been Edwidge Dantika. Okay, and so Jimmy Cherizier takes a young man named Obed Kiki Joseph, puts him on a truck, pickup truck, and brought him to a police station saying that this is the man who killed Evelyn Sincere. Meanwhile, there's an arrest warrant under the name of Jimmy Cherizier at the same time. This tells me that no one was really looking for Jimmy Cherizier the whole time because he knew that the PHTK party of Michel Martelly and Jovenel Moïse that was in power is his party. And that's why all of these years, Jimmy Cherizier is like, the bird in Bugs Bunny, right? The roadrunner is looking for the bird everywhere but cannot catch him, because if you catch him, that's the end of the movie. And so that's the game that they've been playing with Jimmy Cherizier, because he is an agent of the PHTK ruling party, because his presence on the ground in Bel Air makes it difficult for peaceful activists to oppose PHTK. That's his purpose.
In the latest, is that this Bel Air leader supposedly sat down with Jimmy Cherizier, and now there's the peace. What do you make of that?
Well, again, so that's the idea. Like, they call it vivre ensemble. So they're forcing the victims to accommodate their butchers. Now, imagine what would have happened if, after the January 6th attack on Capitol in Washington, okay, you had, the ambassador of Haiti, of China, of Russia, you know, to have met and decided that, okay, let's put the Democrats and the Republicans together to share power, you know? So now you would have Jacob Clancy, the shaman, right? The guy with the helmet. He would be the president of the United States, sharing power with Joe Biden. This is what they're proposing to the Haitians. Okay, like as if Haiti has not produced leaders. This is so insulting. This is such a a minstrel show that we should all revolt against. And now people are asking folks to put on a straight face and discuss those proposals of power sharing between victims and butchers. This is just not going to be accepted by Haitians because we take our nation seriously. Okay, we don't consider that our nation is a sham or something that some crazy white guy in New York can decide that, okay, we're going to organize a little revolution for our Haitian buddies, and we're going to it doesn't work that way, folks. I mean, real revolution is happening in Haiti, but it's not going to be directed by some crazy white guy in New York. Okay, the Haitian people have done it. We've done it before, and but we don't need crazy ideas like that to be implemented in Haiti. If Jacob Klinsley cannot be president of the United States, well, the Haitians, the leader that was kidnapped in 2004, Dr. Jean-Bertrand Aristide, who is a well-educated scholar, and that the United States made clear they don't want, because he doubled the minimum wage, he invested 16% of the national budget in healthcare. He essentially committed the same crimes as Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, and all these other black leaders who were assassinated before they could implement policies that are progressive in their countries. Well, what is Jean-Bertrand Aristide and his party, Famille Avalas, doing now? Well, just a few days ago, uh, the Université Unifa, the university that he reopened after coming back to Haiti in 2011, graduated 389 professionals: doctors, lawyers, architects, agronomists. Okay, and you will note that the former U.S. ambassador Pamela White, in her interview at Fox News, she insisted that if it's the elites, doctors and whatever that they put on the presidential council, it's not going to work. She doesn't want Haiti to have professionals in their presidential council, but she wants Jimmy Cherizier, that fool we just saw. Uh, uh, she wants the U.S. ambassador is saying that Jimmy Cherizier has to have a seat in the presidential council. Guy Philippe, the other mass murderer, has to have a seat. So, in other words, these racist, that's the word, these racist white people want to impose criminals as leaders of Haiti. But they don't consider that, you know, what was the mass murderer in the United States? Yeah, Guy Philippe as well. Yes. Okay. Jim Jones, why couldn't Jim Jones be president of the United States then? Like, you have criminals in your country as well, and you know that criminals belong in jail. Why is it criminals in Haiti, in the Congo, have to be presidents? I'll tell you why. It's simple. It's not rocket science. Because when they are dealing with these criminals and they have the goods on them, they can impose that, you know, they sell off the mineral resources of Haiti for cheap, because there's cobalt in the mountains of Kafoufer, where I come from, and they want to steal that. And it's not complicated, because the way they've organized the neo colony is that the economy of Haiti is in the hands of 15 white mafia families. I mean, you've seen those images in the past few days. Just this past few days, you've seen helicopters land in the mountains of Pétionville, and the people who are being rescued don't look like most Haitians. They look very white. Okay? And these are the people who are running the economy of Haiti. One of them, who is better known, because he owns his own private port in Haiti where illegal weapons have been coming regularly all of these years. And he was, and maybe is still in business with Michel Martelly, the former puppet president. The name is Gilbert Bijot, the richest person allegedly on the island, the only billionaire of the island. And he's on the list of people that Canada has sanctioned because Canada says they have proof that this man, who for 25 years was the consul of Israel in Haiti, has diplomatic immunity and was getting all of these weapons coming in. Canada says they have proof that he has been arming the militias. And we have the testimony of Arnel Joseph, a former militia leader who was killed 4 months before Jovenel Moise on February 27th, 2021, after a jailbreak. Okay, so you see the same fingerprints, right? They release Guy Philippe, and then you have police officers getting killed, and you have jailbreaks. And this is the same thing that they did back in February 2021. A jailbreak, and then Arnel Joseph came out, and the next day they found him dead, so that he doesn't get judged and doesn't testify, does not out Jovenel Moise and Michel Martelly. Well, Arnel Joseph has spoken, and there's an article that came out in Haitian social media in 2019. The title is Arnel Joseph parle comme un rossignol. Translated into English, Arnel Joseph has spoken like a nightingale. He sung like a nightingale. And I translated it on my website, Jafrikayiti.com. And it's called Confessions of Haitian Kidnapper Arnel Joseph. And in there, he explains that Gilbert Bijot, this guy, the former consul of Israel in Haiti, was having conflict with another warlord named Renaud Dib. And they each had their militias, the so called gangs. And Arnel Joseph became a member of this operation fighting against the militias of Gilbert Bijot for Renaud Dib. And all of this information is what on which the government of Canada decided to finally sanction these white warlords. Because for the longest time, they were pointing to the black warlords and protecting the white warlords in Haiti. And we insisted upon the Canadian government and saying to them, listen, no, all humans are equal. You have to sanction all of the warlords, regardless of skin color. And reluctantly, the Canadian government on December 5th, 2022, put the names of the first white warlords, Bijot, Abdallah, and Dib. But what we're saying is that it doesn't make sense that the richest person in Haiti, the only billionaire of the island, you find information that he is funding criminals. He's using his private port, which is something ridiculous on an island, okay, to get all of these weapons, drugs, etc. And then what is the sanction? He's got travel restriction. The man is in his 80s, late 80s. Like, what does travel restriction mean? And then they have restriction on some of his products that he cannot sell. That's not punishment. He needs to be arrested, judged. Of course, he's gonna have lawyers. He's a billionaire. He'll have lawyers, but he has to be judged. And on top of it, Gilbert Bijot is in Miami. You don't need to invade Haiti to arrest him. Okay? These guys are all members of Interpol. The United States, Canada, Haiti, we are all part of Interpol. So there's no excuse for them not to arrest Gilbert Bijot. And what's more is that after the coup in 1991, the United States had a list of people who were sanctioned, including Bijot. All of the Haitian white warlords were on that list. Accra, Bijot, Brant, Madsen. And what happened? Nothing. Because these sanctions don't mean anything if you're not going to arrest these people. In fact, they became richer because they're the ones who have the import export business, and they control the whole of import export in Haiti. No matter what, even if it's rice that you're going to import in Haiti, if these people don't give you the green light, you will end up dead. And that's what is confirmed in many of the articles that you can consult online about these individuals. And so I think it's important for people to have this context, and you will see that a lot of the articles that you will see online, they do their best to avoid mentioning the white warlords in Haiti. And to me, it makes no sense, because if someone is a billionaire and is funding militias, you can, undo militias all you want. As long as this individual maintains his power, he's going to create another militia. And that's what we've seen. They had them in the 90s, they had them in the 2000s, and they have them today. Okay. And they recreate them. And to me, the United States, knowing that all of the weapons are coming from the United States or Israel, they have the solution. Okay. The Haitian population can deal with the rest. But if these guys don't have a regular supply of weapons and ammunition, they cannot last long.
Yeah, so much information to peel back. We're at 1,296 and counting who are tuned in live to hear from Jafrikayiti, who is from Kafoufe, Port-au-Prince, who is peeling back the different layers. This is not a Haitian crisis. This is an imperialist crisis, but it's the 2.5 million people of Port-au-Prince, the 12 million people plus of Haiti, that are trapped in the middle. I'll show some of my recent scholarship on all of this. We have to peel back all of the layers of what's really going on.
That's right.
In this article here, guns, gangs, and neocolonialism in Haiti, hundreds of thousands of guns made in the U.S. propel a gang war that has turned Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, into a war zone. And that's the part that MSNBC and Fox and the New York Times never mentioned. They just want us to have the same racist imagery of the Haitians running around killing one another without any historical colonial context. Remember, everyone who's tuned in, and thank you for your support. We have been demonetized like so many different anti-imperialist outlets, but we do have the link to the PayPal, which you can find there on the YouTube page, so you can support us. The other headline that I want to show here, another publication that Jafrik writes for, Black Agenda Report, which is always on the right side of the Haitian liberation struggle. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the assassination of one of our leaders, Chedensky Jean-Baptiste. So I published this tribute of Chedensky. The other, so many racist stigmas of Haiti, but they always say that Haiti doesn't have honest leaders. Well, when you assassinate them all and kidnap them all and exile them all, and maybe we'll end. Both Jafrik and I have a hard cutoff in about 5 minutes, and we want to honor that. Chedensky Jean-Baptiste was a poet, and I want to, and also they do guerrilla theater. This was impersonating the La Saline massacre, because people were stripped naked and killed in the La Saline massacre. So there's Chedensky and the other Molegaf comrades from the ghettos. This is one of the main warlords. This is Kempes Sonon. And now Cherizier says he has a peace pact with these notorious warlords. And another incredible Haitian leader, he was assassinated the same day as the earthquake. Yeah, Jean-Anil Louis Juste. And then I put a list here of different anti-imperialist Haitian organizations for people to check out. So we're at 6:55. We'll give you the last word, Jafrik. Where can people find your work? What do you want them to know? What outlets do you want them to watch?
Yeah, well, I think the article that you published is excellent in terms of the list of people you have there, because that's the important thing to understand that Haitians are not, without agency. We have plenty of organizations inside of Haiti and in the diaspora that are resisting the imperialists, and we are, of course, standing in solidarity with our brothers and sisters all around the world. So. Yeah, so this thing about Haiti Liberté is not a Haitian publication. It's owned by a white family that has lots of money, and they're pushing their money around and using blackface people to put in front. We got to be serious, folks. Um, I don't take seriously people who are inviting on CNN white folks to talk about the crisis in Haiti as if there's no Haitian who speak English who can speak. Okay, this is insulting. You don't do that for the crisis in Israel. You don't do that for crisis. When the Gilets jaunes are burning the streets of Paris, you don't invite some guy from the Congo to come and analyze the situation. Okay, so use your brains, folks. I don't accept the insult of inviting Kim Ives, and I know Kim quite well. Okay, January 1st, 2004, Kim and I, we were in the same bus going to Gonaïve. Okay, and so I don't know why he's doing this job, but this is imperialist job that he's doing, trying to undermine all of the Haitians, and he's got the goods on who is who in Haiti, and Danny, I'm saying that, I can clearly see that your ancestors were European, but there's a respect that in which you approach leaders in Haiti that I think this is what people need to understand. Like, for instance, I am a Haitian living in the diaspora. I'm not going to tell my brothers and sisters in Haiti how to lead the struggle that they're leading in Haiti. My role is here in Canada. Okay, and we work together. But white privilege is something that people need to check, right? I have white privilege because I'm a lighter skinned Haitian. We have to understand these dynamics and take account of them, and understand that you cannot lead the people's struggle for them. You have your role, and like Patrick Ely used to always say to Canadians who asked them, how can you help Haiti? He always said, the best way for you to help Haiti is to be a citizen, a good citizen of your own country. That is, go look for the foreign policy of your country and see how it is affecting the people of Haiti, the people of Congo, the people of Palestine, and force them to make that change. But not go and tell them, who is the good Haitian leader, who is not the good Haitian. That's not your job. Okay? Just like when the people of the United States go and vote, it's not for me or the Chinese or the Russians to tell them, choose this fool instead of this fool, because most of the time you only have the choice between two fools.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
But that's your problem to solve. It's not mine to solve. That's what I'm saying. And in Haiti, what you've shown in your article, Danny, is that there are people on the ground that people should follow. On my website, Jafrikayiti.com, the articles that I've published has a lot of links. And for folks who are in New York, I definitely highly recommend Komokoda, our brothers and sisters who've stood all of these years. I mean, this is not people who are, Johnny come lately. Okay, these are people who've been there decades after decades, and I think that's where we need to look at it. And also, I'll end on that. The 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 situation in Haiti is not different than how it is in the United States. You have people with a, a wide array of ideologies, approaches, reputations. And so, for instance, people have criticized the Montana movement, and as you know, Molegaf had joined it, Famila Valas, and then they came out. That's because of the internal contradictions of the Haitian society. That's normal. We need to work these things out ourselves. This is not to mean that you know we don't realize that. So, for instance, some of the folks who are part of the Montana were part of the coup in 2004, but that's our problem to solve. Haitians need space, and that's why what we've been asking folks in Canada and the United States and Europe to do is not to come and help us. It's to let us breathe, give us space, leave us alone if you cannot help. And if you want to help, do like Cuba is doing. Okay? Cuba is not telling Haitians, this is the leader to choose. No. Okay? You need help with healthcare, we're going to send you doctors. And you have a lot of Cuban doctors who were part of the Aristide University. And in fact, the reason some of these students were able to complete their studies because President Aristide and President Fidel Castro having renewed relationships, some of the students who were kicked out by the US invaders went to Cuba and completed their studies. That's genuine solidarity.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Jafrikayiti. The numbers are still climbing. The people want to hear you. Next time we just threw this together. We're both traveling. We're on the move, but we're at 1,600 and counting. Haiti's in the news. It's not in the news. It's not in the corporate news for the right reasons. The corporate news recycles the same tired racist stigmas and cliches of disease and coups without ever telling you that the true enemy of the Haitian people is U.S. imperialism. All the Haitians have ever asked is to be left alone, to be self-determining. One of the most common things I've heard traveling back and forth to Haiti since 1998, but in particular the last 3 years, is Grand Munteli. We are adults. We are not children. Don't treat us like children. Joe Biden, Donald Trump. We can be self-determining. I want to end with one of my favorite images that I carry in my soul every day. As some people have said here, Haiti is the Palestine of the Caribbean. And it's truly inspiring to me that everywhere we went,
that's right,
was present. So here you have people barricades against the gangs, and the Haitians, what do they use as their armor, as their shields? The Palestinian flag.
That's right.
Symbolic. So we'll be in touch, Jafrik, as things continue to unfold. We've put a bunch of links of Jafrik's work, the People to People fundraiser, Malegaf, we call them the Black Panthers of Port-au-Prince, of Haiti. And we need to be in direct touch with these community organizations so we can support them, so we can have truly revolutionary protagonists leading the charge. So thanks again, brother.
Thank you.
Napkembe contacts, nous content que tu là, into the 1,600 in counting comrades, supporters, anti-imperialists. We'll be back soon. So on behalf of Midwestern Marx, thank you a lot, Jafrik. Kembe la femme.
Kembe femme. Respect.
Stand up, all victims of oppression, for the tyrants fear your might. Don't cling so hard to your possessions, for you have nothing if you have no right. Let racist ignorance be ended, for respect makes the empires fall. Freedom is merely privilege extended, unless enjoyed by one and all. So come, brothers and sisters, for the struggle carries on. The International unites the world in song. So comrades, come rally, for this is the time and place. The international ideal unites the human race. Let no one build walls to divide us, walls of hatred nor walls of stone. Come greet the dawn and stand beside us. We'll live together or we'll die alone. In our world poisoned by exploitation, those who have taken, now they must give. And end the vanity of nations, we've but one